first thing obviously is we do CVs, and the whole idea with the interview doctor is that we get people to the interview and then we get people through the interview. So really the first thing that we do is we actually do CVs, and we start off with a 15-minute free consultation, and then we can do different levels of CV writing, whether it's writing it from scratch in the first instance, whether we're actually just refreshing and refocusing a current CV, or whether someone needs a complete overhaul to start with, something which has perhaps not been done for a long, long time before. And then, in addition to that, of course, we support the CV with cover letter writing, and also how to negotiate your salary, how to actually progress through the interview and make sure you really get the job. Even when we get through to that, how to get a pay rise before you get started, which is something that a lot of our clients really like to do. Maybe you don't need a professionally written CV. A lot of people, of course, are able to do that for themselves, and many people do that successfully. And what I would say is that what we do is we sort of help people, because we hear the same old problems. We hear what people say. They say, oh, I don't know what to write. People tend not to like, and they feel very uncomfortable sometimes writing and showing off about themselves and their own achievements. And sometimes people just don't like writing it. In fact, I was speaking to somebody just last week, and she said, do you know what, Sam, I hate this. Can you do it for me? And so that's why we went ahead and helped her. And we see the same old problems as recruiters as well, because when we're actually looking for a CV, we see the same problems, the same things letting people down. And so what we're able to do is provide that objectivity and do something which means somebody saw me recently, and I was working with them just a couple of months ago. She handed me a CV and she said, I don't think you'll be able to do much with this because I think it's really very good and I don't think there's anything you can do. And I thought, well, okay, here's a challenge. And after just a few hours, the thing was hardly recognisable, and the objectivity, she was delighted and has since gone on to sort of progress into a great new position and is extremely happy with it. So it really can work. The key things that we work on are making sure that it stands out. Because really what you find is that people's CVs are so personal and they get very involved in them and they think about doing it just how they would want it to be. We look at prioritising for exactly what the recruiter is looking to find, so you stand out from the crowd. Sure, well there are lots of services, and obviously being marketeers we check exactly what's going out there for our competition. There's well over 50 and almost all of them offering a very good service, so of course we recommend people shop around and find exactly what's right for them. And what we say that's different about what we do is that at Interview Doctor we only do marketing CVs and commercial CVs. So we've got a really narrow focus in terms of what we look at. And that means that we're really specialists in terms of doing those. We don't pretend to be the very best out there at doing a legal CV. If you need to be a lawyer and you want to do that, please don't come and see me because I really can't help you with that. But for marketeers at any level, whether it's starting out, trying to get into an ad agency after university, or whether you're at a senior level with a board level position, that's exactly what we specialise in. And how do we do that? Well, we never use templates. And that means that every single one of our CVs is actually a creation. And it's a creation that's a bespoke piece of work for our client to get them into the role that they want to get to. So that's the way that we do it. I would say the other thing that really sets us apart is the fact that we are professional marketers. Every single person as part of our team who would work on your CV is a marketing professional, is a commercial professional. So these are people who have not only been hired recently into good jobs, top jobs in some cases, but they're also people who are making hiring decisions, so they know exactly what to look for. And the way we make a review, we start off, and it's actually quite a fun process, so people enjoy this. They start thinking, I've got to get a CV, but really we make it quite pleasurable as we go through, and what we tend to find is that people find out things about themselves that they didn't really know about. So the first thing is that people get in touch. So get in touch with us, either pick up the telephone, send us an email, send your CV via email or upload it through the website, and then what we can start off with is our 15-minute free consultation. And at that point, we'll just talk about it. We'll talk about what you're trying to do, where you're trying to get to, and what we might want to change. And at that point, you can decide whether you want to work with us, or whether it's something you think you can make changes on your own. If you want to work with us, what we do then is we go into a much more in-depth process. And we sort of explore exactly what you'd like to do, and we develop a CV to really bring out your talent in terms of what the recruiter is trying to find for the job that you're looking to get. So that's the way we work. Once we've done that, after quite an in-depth telephone conversation, or even face-to-face as we are now, what we do for you is we create a first draft. And we take that first draft forward with your feedback. Now, what I say, and I always say this to everybody at this point, is I will make sure I find new things out about you. I will make sure that I take things and I talk about it to the very maximum of what we can, but will not lie for you. So all of our CVs are completely accurate, and we rely on you to provide us with that information. So we'll take it through until you're 100% delighted. That's what we do. We don't leave somebody with something. We don't say, oh, you've had 2 hours with us, that's it. What we do is we work with you until you're happy. That might mean you're ready to go and do the interview. It might mean that you want helping to perhaps start the interview process. We've got you that far. How do you really achieve in the interview? How do you get your ideas across concisely? And it could be then, how do you want to make sure that you're getting that pay rise that I talked about before you even start? And we've seen it done time and time again. You can get cheaper CV services, you can get cheaper consultancy, and what we do is we price every single job on a needs basis. So we talk that through with every individual client, but every single time we find that the extra salary that they're able to get completely outweighs, and in some cases makes the fee seem insignificant. We're really talking about people adding £10,000, £15,000, £20,000 onto their salary, especially when they started off thinking, well, I don't know if I'm worth any more. So that's what we do, and it makes a big difference to people's lives. Because we're actually marketeers, we are practicing professionals, we're marketing consultants, we're marketing professionals, and so we actually know the hot buttons, if you will, the sort of magic words that are required. Because these days, of course, it's not just about impressing somebody who's going to read your CV, you have to get the right words in so your CV gets through the computer screening in the first place. Quite often, especially if it's a graduate job or it's a job with a big company, what we find is that we've got maybe 1,000, maybe 5,000 applications, and these CVs, these application forms, get weeded out initially by a computer. So we have to win there first. Then we have to make sure that we can get the human person who then gets the CV to fall in love with us as well. That's the really important step that we have to take. So it's about using those magic words of persuasion, and we know what they are. So we make sure they're included in every CV that we do. Well, what we tend to find is that people tend to fall foul of what we call the 10-second rule. And I've just mentioned exactly how many CVs can be in any given process. With the best will in the world, recruiters are trying to do their job. They're trying to sort of find the very best person, but they just have so much to do. And so if your CV doesn't work within the first 10 seconds, chances are it's not going to work at all. It's not going to get the chance to sell you. So we make sure all the best information is prioritised. We also pull out the key facts that they're looking for any individual job. The other thing that we tend to see is that people now with wonderful word processing packages make CVs look too beautiful, and it's not what's required at this stage. So we make sure you have a triumph of content over design. People sometimes come to me and say, well, can you get me a CV? I need one tomorrow. Well, yes, we can do that, but we don't recommend it. If you need something turned around in express service, we can do it. We can make a difference within just an hour. But what we recommend is, let's take a couple of days. Let's really go through a process. You do some work, I do some work, and what you end up with is a great job. So that's the way it works. Either pick up a telephone to us. Telephone number is 01530 249 777. Or alternatively, you can email us info@interviewdoctor.co.uk, or check the website and communicate with us through there. That's www.interviewdoctor.co.uk.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam.
Thank you.